Good Sunday morning. Bear with me if you will. Um, I've got a lot on my mind and a lot of it that I just don't want to talk about. Um, but I intended to do an update on the garden last week. Little man and I both were under the weather, and frankly, it didn't happen. Um, I'm not as well as I hoped to be. I didn't sleep last night. Left side of me is numb. We're back in that kind of land. Um, on the deck, obviously, just kind of sitting in a chair. I got some work to do that I'm going to figure out how to do some way or another. Um, my driving abilities are impaired, so I'm not singing this morning. Plus, my voice is impaired, so um, I'll be kind of watching by live stream. So, yeah. And speaking of live streams, I'm just going to go ahead and put this out there because it is what it is. I am almost 53 years old. I go into very few live streams, and when I do, it's simply to say hello, be kind. I'm kind to everybody. I don't I don't pick and choose who I'm kind to. I'm kind. That's the nature of how I choose to live my life. If I can help somebody, I don't care who they are, I'm going to help them. Um, so that being said, that's how I choose to live my life. I'm no different on this stupid. Let me back up. I'm grumpy. I don't mean to say stupid. On this, on YouTube, Twitter, um, or any Instagram or any other social media, I'm no different than who I am in real life. If you were sitting down having coffee with me, you would see a beautiful disaster because that's what I am. I'm no better than anybody. Um, I've made mistakes in my life. I walk, talk, live in as much compassion and grace as I possibly can. I don't I don't do anything to fit any type of narrative or anything like that. I'm just simply a kind person. That's just that's just all that I can tell you. All of that being said, let's take a walk through the garden because we're going to do some wow. I'm not sure. Plane. Let's see. I can't tell which direction it's coming. Oh, apparently it went over the front of my house and not back here. Made enough noise, didn't it? I invite you into my world. Sorry, that just totally stole my train of thought. Um, I invite you into my world just as if I were inviting you into my home and into my life, simply put. Um, I do it to be kind. I do it to share. If I share silly stuff so that if something I do or say makes somebody smile, laugh, and gives them a reprieve from whatever stuff that they're going through, then yay. I mean, it's the rest of it is not that deep with me. Um, but that addresses that. Now let's get on to the good stuff, to the stuff that really matters. Um, if nobody has told you today, I care about you. Yes, I mean it, whether we're total strangers or not. I care about you. Um, I have zero. I have opinions on things that happen on here, but when it comes down to um, what you would consider a beef or a problem or an issue. No, because my opinion and $1 or $1.50, whatever it is now, they used to say 50 cents, but inflation. We'll get you a cup of coffee at McDonald's or whatever. So my my opinion on certain things that I don't even really keep up with or know all the facts about really doesn't matter. Um, what someone does, how they conduct themselves, whether I agree with it or not, really doesn't matter. What matters is how I is choosing to be kind, and that's where it is. I'm going to be kind to people, whether other people that know me like it or not. The only person's actions that I am accountable for are mine. And I learned that a long time ago. And in learning that, I'm sorry, I didn't realize how much I was shaking. Um, in learning that and coming to grips with that, as I grew up, and to be honest with you, I wasn't raised to treat people unkindly. Um, there's a reason why my family has the reputation and the name that we have. Um, my parents built a legacy for for my sister and myself and the grandchildren and the great grandchildren to follow. It's be kind, do what you can for people, help people. And I'm not saying do it recklessly. I'm just saying be kind. It's not that hard. Have manners. You know, do nice things for people whenever you can, and not just you know I'm that person that randomly buys the person behind me's order in a drive-through. Why do I do it? Because somebody did it for my family when things were tight, and even though we had the funds to buy our dinner, it was a blessing for us. So we pass that on. We pass on good stuff. If I have something that somebody else needs and I'm not using it, I have no qualms with just giving it to them instead of selling it to them. It's not a problem. Um, and I don't mean, I'm not trying to be preachy. This is just on my heart. It's just who I am. And I'm not going to apologize for it. I just don't feel like that I should have to. It's not that it's not that hard and it's not that deep. Um, I have I've been there. I've made mistakes. I've done stuff that I knew better than doing and still did anyway, and made suffered the consequences of it. So nobody is people mess up. So who am I to judge who deserves kindness? I know I'm rambly, and I don't really, that wasn't really the intent when I hit start on this, because it just wasn't. But, it's not for me to judge. It's for me to be kind, and for me to be compassionate, and for me to share my heart, and to care about people, and to love people. You know, even if my garden was booming, which it's not yet, but hopefully it will, it's not uncommon for me to, share produce. I would love for my backyard to be sown in a garden to where, if you're hungry, eat. Go out and walk by there and grab you a couple of tomatoes or peppers or whatever. Eat. I would love to have trees in my front yard that were fruit trees. And if people were hungry, grab an apple. That's where my heart is. That's where my mind is. So, you know, if that's not something that you can't get on board with, I'm sorry. I'm not changing my convictions or who I am for anybody because I have to answer for my actions. And trust me when I tell you, my family will tell you because they get the brunt of the days that my pain is really high, the days that my brain is not functional, and all that stuff. They get the brunt of the yucky, grumpy stuff. So trust me when I tell you that I screw up on a daily basis. I mess up a lot. So if I can be kind, I'm going to be kind. You know, I'm not perfect. There's a lot of stuff that I've improved on, but I'm not there yet. So from glory to glory, I'm still working on it. And today I decided that I wanted to spend a little bit of time by myself while my family's gone for a few hours. Hope, hopefully it will be a good adventure that they're on. Um, I'm tired of seeing my grandson hurt. I'm weary. I really am. But although I'm weary, I'm not done yet. Um, it's human emotion whenever somebody hurts something that you love to have those feelings and have anger. My goodness, I don't know what is going on. Oh, my neighbor has decided to mow, which means yeah, it's about 10 o'clock. It's after 10 o'clock. I should know that. Anyway, so let's take a little walk through the garden and get this kind of over with. We'll just kind of give you a view of how things are going, and to be frank with you, it's not all that great. Um, we'll start in the far corner in the pepper section because I'm going to be planting some fall stuff. Um, have a few, have a couple of banana peppers. I've picked about um, four, and that I can't remember what kind of. That's a Thai basil. I'm not probably not saying that right. Um, Here we have a whole bunch of buds and one green pepper. Um, my green pepper plants do not seem to. I don't know if it's because I put the companion plants down in there, but if that was true, I don't know why this one is doing so well and these are not. This one is pretty much a loss. I'm giving it a chance because I do see some new green on there. I'm giving it a few more days before. And if you look down in here, I was talking with a couple of people on Twitter. These are this that's Epsom salt. Um, it's just a feeder. I have some fish food that I'm going to put in here in a few days. Um, and just give you kind of a. I can't see how much time I'm tracking. I've harvested off of this one about four peppers. Um, Not anything really to. This one I need to tie. Um, the stalks on the pepper plants are just. Most of them are really. See how thick that one is? I can't tell if you can see. Oh no, you can't because I have my finger over it. Sorry. Um, but the stalks are amazingly thick, so I'm hoping that those go ahead and shoot up and fruit up and produce. Of course, have more buckets. This up here is a mess right now. I have to straighten this out in just a little bit. I'm not sure how, you know, I'm not sure what is really going on. Um, that's the pumpkin. I took a chance on planting it in there. Um, I'm seeing some new buds, so hopefully that'll work. My German queen tomato plants don't seem to be doing real well. Now, let me explain something to you because I think I have, uh, I get twisted up and tangled in what things are called sometimes because genetics and um, uh, um, and it just is what it is. I get confused. This is an urban planter. I will tell you, I ordered these, I think, off of Earth Easy about 5 or 6 years ago. And you ordered the tomato plant stand thingies separately. I will tell you, overall, this is not, I don't, unless you're just going to grow, say, a tomato plant or something of that nature, I don't recommend these. The only feature that I like about these is the water reservoir. Um, Beyond that, um, I really don't. You can grow more in less soil per se, but as you can see, I've got like 4 plants in here. I've got a tomato plant, 2 marigolds, and then a pumpkin plant. And as you can see, it's just not, the marigold plant, that's the only marigold plant that's really having a problem. Um, but I bought 2 of these, so I want to use them. This the Both of these are the German Queen tomato plants. Um, let me. I'm sorry, I'm old, but um, I wish. I'm sorry, I keep putting my finger over the lens. Um, but you can see, there's actually this one's actually starting to bear fruit. Um, we'll go through and get these, get those off of there, and because that way the plant, pruning this and taking these that have turned yellow off. I'm sure you already know this, but it helps the plant to. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to kind of look at what I'm doing. Um, but it helps the plant to focus on new growth versus trying to make something dead um, grow. That's kind of profound, isn't it? Focus on the new growth. Ha! Yeah. This pumpkin plant is doing better than the other one. Um, as far as the pumpkins go, as long as we have like 1 or 2 of them for Ian, I'm happy. Um, I've never planted pumpkin in a container. We took a shot to see what would happen. Um, have my big container out. We're going to be planting carrots. Have my city. These are city pickers. You can get. Oh, sorry. I'll show you the one that I have open. We'll do a real quick in the garden walk. Mint, spearmint, tomato plant. It's doing okay. Um, Still barely producing. I think it has to do, got some fruit, but I think not watering as effectively as I could have. Heat. I think these are lemon balm or bee balm, one of the two. Um, this one, this was my Roma, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, that's my Roma. And I'm hoping, um, I didn't notice, but it kind of like sat in. You can see even the marigolds. I didn't notice that it had too much water in it for too long of a time. So I'm hoping that it will. It's not completely gone yet, so I'm hoping that um, the roots haven't rotted. Um, if it has, it's life. Um, but anyway, moving over to this. This is a city picker, and how this works I really like, and it's something that I'm going to do next year with my buckets. I've been researching ways to make it easier. And we started off the season with the water bottles, um, which is a good ideal. Don't get me wrong, it's a good ideal. But when you start putting the cages on, and things like that, it becomes really hard to keep fishing that bottle back out, and it became just too much of a pain, to be honest with you, to really continue doing. But the way this is set up, it has a pipe. You can see, I think this is actually where the pipe goes. Um, it has this goes on. This one's still it's zip tied down, but it's got, you can see there's at least about two right here, um, for a water reservoir. Beyond that point, it has a drainage, so it will start draining the water out, so that there's always water accessible for the plant, but there's not so much water standing that the roots are going to rot. And I like these really well. Um, there's a way to make that happen with my buckets, and we're going to do that because it also means that we'll use less soil next year. So let's continue on because this is getting way lengthy. Um, and like I said, tomato plants. We had a few days of just a lot of water, so you know there's yellow leaves. Um, it just kind of been kind of crappy. Um, but we'll just kind of prune those off. I would prune this on back, and I probably should. I think that's what I will do. Um, and I have worms coming soon, so I'm just kind of, the vegetation I'm just kind of throwing off to the side because I'll collect it up and compost it. Um, but and my basil has started to flower. I've dried some of it, given some of it away. Um, Basil for me is just basically a companion plant. I don't really cook with it. Um, this one, as you can see, is kind of got some issues. We'll prune it out here in a little bit. Um, this one is kind of stunted. Um, could be, it very well could be like I told you at the beginning of this. This is the first time that I've actually put my companions directly into the buckets. So it could be that they're fighting for, nutrients and things of that nature. Next year, whenever I do this, um, we'll be putting some things in raised beds and um, less less things actually in buckets. But what we won't be doing is putting the companions um, in there. I don't think that it's with the marigolds. It seems to be a competition with the basil and other things like that. Not so much. Now we're going to address this poor little monster. Um, I'm very close to pulling it up, just to be honest with you. Um, I probably actually will pull this one up. Whenever I got it, I knew that there was more than one squash plant in the thing, but, well, my daughter watered, but apparently not, these didn't get a whole lot. But it seems to be that, they're kind of fighting for everything together. Um, This one is the one that I thought was not going to make it. It's still having some problems. Um, don't know, but I see some new blooms and new growth, so we're going to leave it alone for now. This one is my zucchini plant. Um, We came out and kind of pruned on it, and I don't know if I can do this to where you can see them, but we will try. This is probably my longest in the garden video because I had to, like ramble. Um, but yeah, there's 2 zucchinis coming in. Yay! I'm so excited because I want zucchini. I love zucchini. Um, I really am feeling a lot of dry. Um, Tomato plant, I'm not sure what has happened because I know my daughter came out to water last night because I wasn't feeling well, so I don't know if we just haven't need to water more on more days because a lot seems dry. Um, Neither here nor there. Um, but yeah, today and in the next couple of days, I'll show you. You see the cat and my messy shelf. I'll just it just is what it is. It's actually supposed to be my kitchen plant shelf, but I have run out of room in my house. We have 2 families in my house, and I've just run out of room. So we're still purging and all that good stuff. But this is the best, most worst cat ever. His name is Princey. We love him, but he drives me bananas. And again, I cut my basil way back. Um, it's starting to produce more. It started to flower. So what I did, because what I want to do is be able to pull this inside and just kind of like keep using the flower, using the seed. If I can't, I can't. Again, it's not that deep. This is a lot of stuff that I'm doing right now is an experiment. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Um, so anyway, I have some cucumber plants and some squash plants. I'm going to get those in buckets today and then plant some carrots. Then we're going to get the city pickers ready and start lettuce and stuff like that for fall, when it starts cooling off. I'm going to be doing a couple of winter, sorry, I gotta get up, winter uh, things that I've seen with totes that you kind of make the tote into a greenhouse. We're going to give it a shot. Worst case scenario, it won't work. Oh well. Um, Thank you for listening to this. If you've stayed with me this far, pretty sure this is the longest in the garden that we have done. Thank you for understanding that I needed to vent. I have, whenever I'm sick for a long period of time, or this week has been a particularly difficult week. Um, we faced a couple of storms in my family. Thankfully, everything has turned out okay so far. We've still got a couple of storms to go through. Um, so, you know, I'm human, guys. Sometimes it gets to me. I try very hard not to let it, but sometimes it does. And this week in particular, it's gotten to me. I saw my mother for a few minutes yesterday. They just came, my cousin took them on vacation, and I'm so thankful that she was able to. I hate that I didn't get to go, but life is what it is. Um, but it was. I'm thankful that they had a wonderful time, and I'm thankful that they did. I'm thankful that she um, has the opportunity to go and do and not be sitting in an empty house by herself all the time. Um, I know she misses my dad, and if she had to sit in the house all the time, um, that would not be healthy for her, and I don't want that for her. So even if I don't get to go along, and it makes me sull up and pout like a big baby, Um, I'm happy that she gets to go overall. Do I wish I could go with her? Absolutely. Um, but I have responsibilities that um, I have to deal with here, and that it just is what it is. Um, anyway, so even during our sick week, we did do homeschool. We printed off um, everything. I print off all of the things that he does on ABC Mouse, that when he colors or whatever, I print them off. And then with our other curriculum, he has written work that he does. So we got all of that squared away, because even being sick, you can still learn. And both of us we have gone through more tissues than I think they make this week. um, but anyway, we have survived this week, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful. And I thank you all for just listening to me, and I appreciate everything. Let me give you a nice look how beautiful this is. The sky is today. I'll leave you with that. From the beginnings of what is now Remnant Urban Homestead, whether we get animals here or not is kind of iffy, because it is in the city. Um, I know we can do chickens. I don't know whether we will or not, because it may be something that causes conflict with the neighbors, and that's not something that I want. But this is the beginnings of where my dream will eventually take us, because Remnant is going to be the name of the homestead. Um, I think that is suitable and appropriate for me. So remember, I am the mayor's daughter. From the Oh my gosh, this view is just beautiful of the sky, just beautiful. So y'all have a wonderful day. Remember, I'm the mayor's daughter. Thank you oh so very much for stopping by my channel. Have a good day, and remember that the only person's actions that you are accountable for are your own. I still haven't thrown that grow light out. I probably should plug it up and see if it still works and just get a new bulb. Um, but um, yeah, remember that, we're responsible for what we do. And be kind to someone today. Do something good. Plant something. Um, just do something that will change your life. I will say this: there's a lot of homesteading channels that I watch, and I can't think of his name exactly. Um, oh, I hate when this happens, but he one of the things that he says is just plant something, see what happens. And that's kind of where some of the stuff that I'm planning today is purposely for fall, because I have that window of opportunity. Didn't ever know that I really did. So, and learning more about succession planting and things of that nature, so that next year's garden will be better. Um, Whether we're here or whether we make it to the farm by next year, there's still going to be a garden. There's still going to be the raised beds that we're going to build. Um, we'll be able to take them with us. Um, so, everything right now is focused on transition. And sometimes you got to be in a transition stage for longer than you want to be. But anyway, I just got the notification that my battery is low, so we're going to stop. Um I'm rambly today, and I'm sorry. I need to be working, and I just can't seem to get motivated. I'm chilling out on the deck, and it's beautiful and cool and wonderful. So um, get outside today. It's a beautiful day. I hope that it's beautiful where you're at, but get outside in the sun. Enjoy it. Um, what also what you will see happen is there will be more um, I'll have to put the plants closer together to, have room for the fall plants. Um, don't know how we'll make this work, but we're gonna. I don't necessarily like um, adding the extra weight to the deck, but right now it is what it is. As August rolls around, tomato plants will come in and be done, and so it'll be transitioning those back down off the deck, um, and getting getting those out, um, getting the soil. I got to figure out some totes, I guess, to put the soil in, and then we'll be adding worm compost to them um, over winter. Um, I may, I don't know. We'll figure out some way to do it. Um, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do because I'm going to use the bulk of the same soil that I have. Um, but anyway, my husband is messaging me, which means I need to get off of here. And this is long. I'm sorry. Y'all have a great day. Remember, I'm the mayor's daughter from the beginnings of Remnant Homestead. We love you. I love you. Don't care if we agree. Don't care if we disagree. I love you. See you. Bye.